Welcome in to the Daily Wolves courtside. We're live. We're here. We're back. The Wolves are officially back 1-0 against the Los Angeles Lakers when many had the Wolves down in the dumps to finish. We have it somewhere here, but let's just throw that on the screen for everyone here. Let's throw it on the screen real quick, guys. Let's go through here. Every single person on that screen chose Minnesota to lose. I guess we'll kind of see how the series plans out. It's still way too early in the series to say, but you know what? It's crazy. I mean, you're starting off 1-0 and you win one of the two in LA. I feel like for Minnesota guys to have a chance in this series, you had to win one of the two in the first couple games here. You're going to come back to Target Center now no matter what. Either 1-1 series is tied up, or you're going to be up 2-0 with all the momentum coming to game 3 Friday night. It's a late game at Target Center. You know the crowd's going to be boozed up on that Friday night game. It could be crazy in there. Just an insane atmosphere. And then the second game, guys, is a 2:30 start time, I believe, out of Target Center on Sunday. So it's lined up where Minnesota could really take advantage. The home crowd could be huge. Shout out to everyone joining. We have 180 people plus coming in right now. The game is ending. But yeah, Minnesota gets the win. Andrew, what are you thinking of? What are your thoughts initially of this massive WC Wolves taking game 1?
I mean, Ant was flawless. He did everything he said he was going to do all week. I thought Finch coached a masterpiece. I mean, every adjustment the Lakers seemed to make. Mark Jones mentioned it in the fourth quarter, but like JJ went zone, and then within one play, Dante's standing back up to go and kind of break their zone. Immediately after they go zone, they have Nikhil standing at the nail. Jaden drives in and gets an easy 2. Like, that's just one example, but any adjustment JJ made, Finch just had an answer immediately. They started ISOing Gobert. Finch went smaller. Ant was phenomenal moving the ball. Anytime they sent a double or blitzed him on a screen, he made the right read. Even when he drove, when it collapsed, he made the right read out of the collapse. It was just, I mean, the Wolves talked about it all week, that this week off just to be able to prepare and get everything right was so important to them last year. And we're seeing it again this year. I mean, Finch, given time, can coach his tail off. And that's what he did tonight. Like, to me, that was the biggest takeaway is Finch didn't hold punches. I mean, Matt, you were on it. He didn't bench Ant, but Ant sat on the bench for 6 minutes in the second quarter just because they were rolling, and Finch has the buy-in from these guys. He's not afraid to make adjustments, and he had an answer for everything tonight. I would assume game 2 is going to be different. Luka's going to be pissed.
Oh yeah.
LeBron's going to be, even more motivated. I'm assuming they will find some way to help Austin Reeves, because that guy on defense looked unplayable for the large majority of this game. I mean, they're going to have answers, and then it's going to just turn into, does Finch have the counter answers again? I kind of was a little bit backwards. I thought the Wolves maybe would lose game 1 and then steal game 2, but they came out and made a statement tonight. They do not care. Free throws, foul calls, media behind the Lakers, they don't care. They outdid it all tonight.
And on top of that, shout out to our guy, Mark Jones, on the call tonight on ABC. For those who didn't know, we had Mark Jones on as a special guest on the Daily Wolf Courtside just a couple days ago. You can find that on YouTube or Spotify, Apple feed by searching the Daily Wolves. Go check it out. Mark was an insanely informative guest, and just the way he preps and gets ready for the call and the big W that you guys saw tonight, it's awesome. So shout out to Mark. Matt, do you think Chris Finch got too much, I guess, in the regular season, too much hate? Because tonight, like Andrew said, he looked like he put on a masterclass performance from the coaching perspective.
Yeah, I don't think hate is the right word to use for it. I would lean more towards the criticism aspect. I see where you're coming from. There are some pretty nasty things said across social media throughout the regular season. And, I understand the fans' frustration. Like, there were times throughout the regular season that you would question, like, why are we on a 16-0 run and the timeout hasn't been called? Tonight, that didn't happen. There was a big 10-0 run that happened, and Finch called that timeout. I mentally jotted that down because, that's a lot of people's rebuttal. Finch lets teams go on runs before he calls timeouts. Sure, it was 10-0, but he didn't let it really get out of hand. The crowd got jumping, and Finch decided to call that timeout. And I think, kind of like Andrew said, it's a testament to what these guys or how hard they want to play for Finch. They want Finch to be their coach. It's clear that they want him here. And this game kind of just shows how good and elite of a coach that Chris Finch is. JJ Redick, I know he's a first-year head coach, but JJ Redick's one of those coaches that's in the coach of the year.
He also is one of those players.
Yeah, see, exactly. JJ Redick, he knows the game of basketball, So, like, to my point, he is a very intelligent player. Coach, understands the game, and Chris Finch just flat out outcoached him tonight, like you said. So I think that a lot of this, this W, you track it back to Finch's coaching decisions he made with not playing Ant, letting him rest, playing certain guys, like you said, with Dante and Nikhil, just whatever was getting thrown at him. He had an instant rebuttal for it. And I feel like we didn't see that a lot this year. Sometimes he would let it bleed a little bit and he'd never like right away make the change. But it's playoff basketball, man. Everybody's got a 0-0 record again. It's damn near a new season. So you've got to make the adjustments and play aggressive. So yeah, W Finch tonight.
What was with the threes tonight too, guys? I mean, unreal. Like, have we ever seen the Minnesota Timberwolves? I feel like since I've been a kid, I don't feel like in the playoffs I've never seen him put on that kind of a 3-point performance. I feel like it said somewhere that it was the third most in team history or franchise history. So it's been done before, I guess, but I don't remember seeing this before. Like I felt like it was just insane to watch it. All the guys really come to the table tonight, spread the floor, and it opened up the Lakers. They looked like they didn't know what to do on the defensive end at that point. Their whole plan was obviously to come in and play an Ant, but once all these guys start making threes, what does that do to JJ Redick? What does that do with the pressure? How does that like change the series, Andrew? Or maybe it doesn't change the series, but what do you think about that?
I mean, game 2 is going to be adjustments. I think game 1 traditionally is both teams come in and try to kind of enforce their will and their play style. And the Wolves, I think, started by doing that with just having Rudy Julius out there and kind of attacking the paint quite a bit. But after just some adjustments by the Lakers of trying to get Rudy in space and stuff like that, I think Finch was just like, we have so many bullets in the chamber we can go to. Let's just roll with it. I mean, the 3-point shooting to me, 50% is not sustainable. Like, that's probably not going to happen again. 21 of 42 from 3 is ludicrous.
Yeah, of course.
But all of the looks were fine. Like, the looks were coming off of Ant drives where they were collapsing around him. They were coming off of the, we're going to blitz Ant narrative and take him out of the game. I mean, those looks are going to be there unless JJ considerably changes his defensive structure. I mean, the other thing is just, again, I mentioned it in the first answer to a question, but Austin Reeves looked unplayable. Like, on defense, anytime he was out there, I mean, the Wolves were purposely going at him. They tried hiding him on Dante. It was ball in Dante's hand, go. They put him over on Mike. It was ball in Mike's hand, go. He got mismatched onto Ant a couple times, and Ant just blew by him and then kicked it out for threes.
Yep.
Like, they're going to have to really figure stuff out, because if Ant is going to play like this, where he's not going to shoot 25 times a game and he's looking for his teammates until the fourth quarter, and then fourth quarter, he had a couple heat check shots, but they were up by 15 to 20. I mean, this is just honestly, it's a testament to Ant too. We've been begging him all year to just share the ball and move the ball and make that like a priority for him. I mean, apparently he's been listening to it all season, and he just didn't want to do it until the playoffs, which that's kind of where I figure Finch in too with this is I think Finch for a lot of the regular season was using those 16-0 runs or making the starters play the whole fourth quarter as just like lessons of, got to be mentally tough. We have to be better. We have to get on the right page. And I mean, again, if this is the Wolves team that shows up for game 2, at this point, I don't know what the Lakers do. They're going to have to just try and outscore them. I don't know what they can do schematically on defense short of playing Vando 47 minutes, but then if Vando's in, Rudy works. So it's the testament of the Wolves having 8 starters and
100%.
Finch knowing how to use them.
They're a deep team for sure. And, I thought tonight we'll get to Julius Randle because he had an interesting game as well. Anthony Edwards, like you said, had picked apart the Lakers, getting the assists. He looked like kind of the Anthony Edwards that came out in the Phoenix series and kind of shocked, I guess, Phoenix, the national media, becoming that playmaker. Ant. We'll kind of talk about that in a little bit, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of in the mood for looking for housing and the realtor market out there. And we actually just partnered with somebody who's the best in the business, Heather.
It's playoff time in Minnesota. The energy is electric, the stakes are high, and every move counts. You can feel it, right? The momentum, the nerves, the is this really happening buzz. The spring real estate market in the Twin Cities has the same kind of energy. Headlines are flying out about interest rates, the economy, and what's coming next. It's exciting, yes, but also confusing and a little bit overwhelming. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or just wondering if that Zestimate is lying to you, don't overthink it. Go to wolvesrealtor.com and connect with Heather. She's not just a fan in the stands. She's on the court every day with Exit and North Star Realty, reading plays, adjusting the strategy, and helping people make confident moves, not panicked ones. Even if you're just curious or unsure about the next step, wolvesrealtor.com is where you start. No pressure, just real talk, real answers, and a game plan that actually works. Because when it comes to real estate, just like basketball, having the right coach makes all the difference. Go check out wolvesrealtor.com and tell them Matt from the Daily Wolves sent you. Real quick, Evan, before we go on to this next point, there was something that I wanted to chime in real quick and add to your point, Andrew.
Yeah, dude. Let's hear it.
Anthony Edwards' playmaking when it comes down to the playoffs. This is year 4 that we've seen Ant in the playoffs. And every single year, it seems like when the lights get brighter, the stakes get higher, Anthony Edwards just turns into a smarter player. Now, I don't know why we don't see it in the regular season. Like you said, we're harping on him to pass the ball, kick the ball, trust your teammates. But tonight, like you said, it was borderline flawless. He played exactly how you needed him to play. He played, I guess the Lakers almost kind of played right into how Ant wanted him to play. He'd get past, he'd get to like the top of the key, he'd get right inside the 3-point line and just make a quick jump pass, skip pass, swing pass, whatever it was, And I think I was just super impressed with Anthony Edwards. And it made me think, like you said, about the Phoenix series. He showed up in the fourth quarter and throughout the first 3 quarters, the whole series, I was just blown away by, oh my gosh, this kid can make. I don't want to say with the best of them, but he has the ability to. He really could be a 7-8 assist type of a 7-8 assist per game player if his teammates are hitting shots, And I feel like that was something that necessarily didn't get talked about a ton in the regular season. Ant made the right plays. A lot of the time, shots just weren't falling, So I just wanted to real quick shout out Ant again for just beautiful playmaking and making the right decisions tonight.
Evan, I want to kick it back over to you quick, but just really quick. Anthony Edwards, 2024-2025 assist percentage. So that is amount of shots that Ant is assisting on. So it's out of 100% of shots. Ant was 20.9%. So when Ant's on the floor, shots that are assisted on, Ant is responsible for 20.9%. Tonight in this game, Anthony Edwards, 72.7. That's insane. Like that's insane. That's all Ant.
And he was
making the right play.
He was a plus 21 tonight, 22 points as well, with 9 assists, 8 rebounds, all over the place. And I love the Dane Moore podcast, NBA podcast. Dane Moore, shout out to him. He's one of the best out there, as everyone knows listening. And our guy Kyle Tagi was on there with them, and they were talking. I went backwards somehow. I don't even know how that happened, but they were talking about how Anthony Edwards in the series and kind of I was listening to his podcast today on my way to work, and they were basically talking about, I think LA would rather have, like, people in LA, fans and the team, like the LA team in general, would rather have Anthony Edwards scoring like 41, 43, trying to be kind of that, hero ball, score all the points. And they said LA should fear Anthony Edwards having the game like tonight with a 28, like 9 and 8 game. And almost whatever they predicted the stat line was what Ant got tonight. And that's crazy because you see when he does that, he just becomes elite. He also in the interviews leading up, which Andrew, you're present at the interviews. Anthony Edwards was kind of asked about this, and he said this is kind of one of those series where, Mike has to be willing to take those shots. You have to take the shots. Reid has to take the shots. Jaden, be confident. They're going to get the ball. You can't pass up these opportunities. Take the shots. I'm confident. Like, be confident in everything. And he just talked up his teammates. He even talked about it, how he knew this series, it might not be an Anthony Edwards series in that aspect. It's the other guys, even though he is so great. And you saw it tonight. He goes out of the game with that little cramp, 20-8 run for the Lakers. He's so impactful that is what Anthony Edwards is. He's like insane when he gets to the playoffs. You saw it last year in Phoenix. You're seeing it tonight, everybody. This kid is a superstar. He is here to stay. He is a top tier talent for years to come. What did you think of Julius Randle, Andrew? Because he was, he was solid tonight in a lot of aspects, but then there was the turnovers. I mean, tons of turnovers tonight for Julius Randle. Reckless for sure. We see it. What do you make of Julius Randle's game, Andrew?
He was fine. I thought Julius was fine. Like he was solid, just bullying into the basket. Anytime Reeves got stuck on him, like Randle attacked immediately. I think the turnovers are just going to happen this series with Randle because he is going to have a significantly higher responsibility of moving the ball, making sure the offense is clicking. Ant, yes, is going to bring the ball up and have to like make that first decision, but Julius is going to be trusted a lot to run the offense. And it just kind of is a product of that. If he's going to be getting that many possessions, he's probably going to have 5 or 6 turnovers. It's just that's Julius Randle's game. Now, that being said, if Julius Randle's have 5 or 6 turnovers and the Wolves only have 14, it doesn't really matter that much. I think he was fine. He hit threes when he needed to. He attacked when he needed to. When he felt a shift, when he felt a switch, he demanded the ball. A couple of his turnovers were just kind of weird, like that weird offensive rebound one. Again, I don't think he had the best game. I don't think he had the worst game. I thought he was overall like fine. And if you look at like his advanced stuff, he was like a +30 net rating, and like his advanced stats, loved him tonight. I mean, the guy I was most impressed with, and I'm going to throw it to you, Matt, because you had him as your X factor, just Jaden. Go, floor is yours.
Yes, sir, man. Jaden McDaniels. I feel like I didn't necessarily talk about it on the podcast a lot. I didn't put it out on social media a ton, but kind of what I was talking about to you guys and just friends throughout the week was pretty much that I think Jaden McDaniels is going to be the big offensive X factor for us in this first round. People talked about, like you said, it's not going to be the Anthony Edwards scoring series. I didn't think it was going to be the Julius Randle scoring series either because of, like you said, his responsibility to keep the offense in motion. We're clearly a better team when the ball is moving. Julius moves the ball better than Ant, so I would rather the offense run through Julius this series. So who does that leave? That leaves our third player, who's Jaden McDaniels. And what did Jaden do from January forward? He figured out his offensive game. He figured out his spots, and he figured out where he was comfortable. And just a little nugget for you guys. Prior to today, Jaden McDaniels is a 44% three-point shooter from the corners, from the arc, from anywhere above the three-point line in the playoffs. So that's something that you guys got to keep in the back of your head. For some reason, when it comes playoff time, Jaden McDaniels turns into Steph Curry with lower volume. He's a demon. So, yeah, I was impressed with Jaden. It just seemed like he got to his spots effortlessly tonight. He just quite simply carved up the Lakers defense, got wherever he wanted to. I loved that he just took it at all the big guys. He wasn't scared of Vando. We kind of know Vando, as I like to call him. He's a little dirty thug. He likes to play out of control. I'm not a Vando guy. But yeah, he was just taking it at them. He didn't step down from Luka. He sure as hell didn't step down from LeBron. And I feel like that comment said right there, if we have Jaden McDaniels like this all playoffs, we're going to be a really, really tough team to stop. So, and on top of that, kind of rambling now, but I feel like I know only game one, but Jaden played Luka significantly better than he did in the Dallas series last year. He didn't get caught behind him all the time. And I think also Finch kind of knows I don't have to put Jaden on Luka every single possession. We saw him throw Ant on Luka. We saw Julius on Luka. We saw Dante on Luka. There were so many bodies thrown at him that Jaden didn't have to exert all his effort on the defensive side of the ball, which kind of leads towards, hey, I can put more effort towards my offensive game. And I feel like Jaden, he's a microwave scorer. Once the confidence is there, you get 3, 4 Jaden McDaniels buckets, and he kind of goes on a solo run. So I feel like that's going to be something that we need to keep an eye on, is how can we continue to get Jaden McDaniels the ball in this series, whether that's him driving and penetrating the defense and getting to his spots. If it's tonight, like if Jaden's going to shoot 100% from 3 all series, by all means, man, go stand in the corner and let Ant and Julius find you. Just whatever it is, however it may be, Jaden McDaniels needs to stay in the offense. This can't be a 1-2 game thing. It needs to be a 5, 6, 7, however many games the series go. That's how many games Jaden's got to be in the offense.
He was so good, guys. He was so good. Plus 27, a team leader for Jaden McDaniels. Andrew, your guy. Jaden McDaniels is watching. I feel like I'm just going to hold it to it. He's probably watching. Of course, he always watches the Daily Wolves Sports.
Jaden, if you're watching the Daily Wolves from the locker room in LA, appreciate all the quotes this
week. He always tunes in. He doesn't listen to Chris Finch or the coaches meeting. He tunes into the Daily Wolves podcast, by the way.
I mean, he was a plus 47.3 net rating.
Just it's like casual numbers for Jaden McDaniels.
And that's with Luka scoring 37. So to have that type of net rating with Luka going off. I mean, this is the play for the guy. We kind of talked about it on a live stream that we didn't put out there, but Luka is going to score 40 probably every game in this series. There is nothing you can do about it. But Luka having 1 assist is a testament to the entire team scheming against him. Something bothered him. I don't know if it was the times they were picking him up 96 feet and just absolutely blitzing him like all the way up the court. I don't know if it was how some plays they were going from like box and 1 into man, like mid play, whatever it was. Like Jaden or Luka was not able to like get people involved like he normally does. And again, if Luka's going to score 40, or let's see here, he scored 37. He was responsible for 39. If that's all he can do, that's the Wolves are winning the series. It's just that kind of simple. I wish I had more analysis on like, I'll watch the game back and probably come up with some more stuff by tomorrow, but they just did a masterclass. Like this was just a masterclass game by the Wolves overall.
On the topic of masterclass, real quick, Evan, you're always asking us questions. I need to get your opinion on this, man.
Yeah,
we have seen Naz Reid in a real cold spell over these last 2 weeks to a month, I'd say. Big Jelly was on fire tonight, man. What did you see from Naz? What did you like out of him tonight?
Good Lord Jesus Christ. Naz Reid. My goodness, this man just took like an adrenaline shot straight to the chest right before he stepped out in the court. He was ready to jump out the gym tonight. 23 points for Naz Reid, a plus 13 for them. Big Jelly was all over, man. He was hitting threes tonight, 6 for 9 from 3. I mean, 6th man of the year. This dude has propelled himself past the 6th man of the year talk in that kind of a performance. He was absolutely amazing tonight. Can it continue? That will be the question because he's a very streaky player this season. But I think we brought that up when Mark was on, when Mark Jones was on with me, is Naz Reid could impact this series massively. And if they really empower Naz Reid, he could be that matchup nightmare for the Lakers because, Rudy Gobert, he might get played off the floor on one end, or he might have a weakness on one end of the floor, and that's the offensive side, as we know. Offensive side. And then, of course, defensively, he might get picked apart in certain different ways. But Naz Reid, in this series, I feel like he has no weakness. He matches up really well. He can play against Jackson Hayes in case they go big. If they go small, Naz Reid can hang out with, or he hang in athletically with the young guys, the athletic guys, the fast guys. And he pushes the pace. When Naz Reid's in the game tonight, that's what I noticed is the pace picks up. He's looking to score. He's looking to drive, something that we saw with Cat. He's shooting the 3 ball at an elite clip. He's not afraid to shoot the 3 ball. He's a confident player. And we talked about it as well. When we did a preview for the Lakers, Naz Reid's this kind of a player where I was curious to see what he did in game 1, because if he comes out and he establishes that confidence, it's insane for the series, what it does for his game. The same thing we talked about it, whoever tuned into our podcast episode about previewing Jaden McDaniels. We said both players, and I think I told Mark this, both players, if they get out there early and they completely bomb it, it's hard for them sometimes to come back, and maybe they come back and they bounce back in a game or two, but that game, it's hard for them to bounce back. You've seen it before with Jaden McDaniels punching a wall out of frustration. You've seen it before with Naz Reid getting frustrated. And so to get these two players,
that was also because Kyle Anderson punched Rudy Gobert, the wall.
Yeah, but like you got to think
there's
about
a lot of punches that game.
If these two guys have come out tonight and they've gained that confidence boost, it can really help these two young players in the series. Anthony Edwards propping them up, obviously being a leader and propping his boys up before, that helps their confidence too. And I mean, they've been through it before now. They went to the Western Conference Finals. They've played against the Grizzlies. They've played deep into the playoffs. This is the 4th year in a row Minnesota's been in the playoffs. I mean, you're seeing kind of different things we didn't see before, but Naz Reid was absolutely incredible. I don't know if any of you guys want to add onto my ramble.
I would just say Naz Reid, well, I enjoy him as a person and I really like his game. He could go 1 for 7 on Tuesday. It's just
he could.
The Naz Reid of it all, and I think it's his only real flaw as a player is that there is no consistency. He has games like this, and then he might have another game like this, or he might be bad. I mean, I hope for Naz, just like I hope for Rudy, just like I hope for Nikhil, Jaden, all these guys, that like the playoffs are moments where they can shed some of these narratives. But like Naz Reid, the last time I did the math on it, 70% of his games, he either shoots above 60% or below 45. Ooh. There just isn't anything in between. So I completely agree with you. Like if he is this white hot, there is no answer.
Even for half of the series, even if he's streaky like this, let's say it goes to game 7, but if he's streaky for 4 of the 7 games, they're probably
those are games
series,
you can steal. Mm-hmm.
And most people have the Lakers going to game 7 with the Wolves, or 6, right? 6 or 7.
Yep. I just, with Naz, it's just so hard because you just don't know what you can pencil him in for. And like, again, I really hope this series he strings together just game after game, because you're right. I mean, what are the Lakers going to do? I mean, Rui Hachimura doesn't have the foot speed to stay in front of him. Jackson Hayes can rim protect, but you got to, like, if you have Jackson Hayes in there, you're playing the drive. You're not going to just have him out on Naz. I don't know. It was this week as the series was getting closer, I was doing more and more kind of deep dives into it. And just the more stuff I looked into, it's like the Lakers just don't have a lot of answers. If the Wolves if they just do what they're capable of doing, which has been the story of the entire season, right? Mm-hmm. They play down to bad teams. They play up to good teams. There's just a roller coaster ride. If they can just do what they need to do, there you go. It's as simple as that. They could win this thing in 5 or 6. I think game 2 is going to be really interesting because I think there are some levers JJ can pull, like you were saying about the Dane Moore podcast. I think they could go out there and just say, Ant, we're going to just leave you on an island, go score 40. We're going to shut down your teammates. I don't know if that's a great play. Like, just me thinking about it schematically.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a great play because Ant has proven that he can just absolutely wreck a game plan just by himself. Mm-hmm. So if you're trusting him to just score 40 and will shut everyone else down, like, the Wolves feed off of him when he has it going. When he hit that 3 and like did the celly at Luka Doncic, like the bench was going berserk.
Yeah.
If they're going to just let Ant go, that's not a great idea either.
I mean, I don't really know exactly what's going to happen in the series. Like you said, I'm so curious to see the adjustments, guys. And then we're going to get to see JJ Redick, a brand new coach this year, who's unreal. Like, for a first-year coach, he's awesome. And so I'm curious to see like what he does as well. Chris Finch has a lot more experience than him. But I don't know. I mean, you got LeBron James, who you could say is one of the best coaches in the NBA, and he's still a player because he's been around it, and his IQ is just incredible. Luka Doncic with a high IQ as well. So it's going to be so. I mean, the series it's going to go long. For those who think it's not going to go long, I mean, I think the series is just going to go long. I'll kind of get into it in a little bit here in a second here, but we're going to take another ad break really quick. Guys, I don't know about you, but I love to sports bet. I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona, where sports betting was legal. And now, since I came to Minnesota, I can't really sports bet. Or I was looking for a new app, I should say. And then I found Better, who is one of our partners, and they're the best sports betting app out there. You can search Better on your app store today. It's BETR. And you can go in and use our promo code, the Daily SPN. And if you use our promo code, they're giving you 100% deposit match up to $77 on your first deposit with Better. Today they had a promo for Luka Doncic. If you were playing today, where all he had to score was 17.5 points, and you were cashing that, that's easy money. They always have promos. They have injury revives. So if your player or your star player gets hurt, I don't know about you guys who bet with sports, but I'm tired of missing out in my lineups and my money when one of my players gets hurt early. But with Better, they do injury revives every single day on every single player. That's the Daily SPN, all one word. Go on and you can legally bet in the state of Minnesota. So that's kind of one of the bonuses for you guys who are watching the rest of the NBA playoffs. Luka Doncic, speaking of him, Matt, you have to attack Luka Doncic if you're the Timberwolves. He's one of the things I wanted to bring up on the show. One of the keys I think that needs to get brought up, and I don't see too many people posting about it, is the Boston Celtics last year in the NBA Finals gave you the blueprint of how to beat the Dallas Mavericks, and they relentlessly hunted Luka Doncic over and over and over and just went at him constantly and made him try to play defense on them. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like they should just keep hunting. We talked about Austin Reeves getting hunted, not just hunt him, but you got to hunt Luka Doncic because you could absolutely just I mean, what do you think about Luka Doncic being hunted, Matt?
So that was kind of my big thing. Like when the game initially started, it was like a rough first 7 minutes of the game for both teams, as a matter of fact. And I feel like it was kind of just some nerves thing, but it seemed like Luka was the only player who was locked in and dialed in. And initially you're kind of like, shit, dude, like it's here we go again.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But as stuff kind of settled down, you kind of realized like once you get Luka flustered and things kind of start to plummet for his team. It happened in Dallas and it happened tonight too. It was kind of in that mid third quarter point. But to your point about hunting Luka, what I was kind of trying to say earlier was that I don't understand why we didn't try to do it earlier. You know,
Yep.
It kind of just looked like Finch, after watching the whole game, it kind of just looked like Finch was kind of playing his cards, seeing how it was going to go about, and then he was going to go into the attack mode. And initially it was Austin Reeves, you know, and then later down the line, we saw Ant attack Luka, and Luka could not hang with Ant. I think Ant was blown by Luka before Luka even had a chance to turn around and get past the free throw line. And obviously that's going to happen, but it happened with players like Dante.
Yep.
It happened. I think it happened with Nikhil. Nikhil blew by him. I think it happened with Julius Randle, man. So it's really clear that these Lakers guards cannot hang with our perimeter players. I would even argue that they can't hang with our forwards. We have one of the quickest forward / center hybrids in Naz Reid. Julius Randle is fairly quick, and we saw tonight that he can get past Luka if needed. So I think, yeah, that is how you win this series. You go out and you hunt Luka Doncic. You go set screens. Do what he does to us. They were trying to mismatch him and Rudy in the beginning of the game. It worked. And like you said, Evan, if you watched the finals last year, how did the Boston Celtics win and just frankly dominate? They just hunted Luka. Go switch him. Switch on. Get the ball to whoever Luka is guarding one way or another. That is just how you win games. I'm sure that Luka, it's going to be brought up. I don't think JJ Redick is going to tolerate it. I think that he's kind of going to tell Luka, you know, like they're going to hunt you. He knows that. Luka knows that he's going to get hunted. So it's one of those things that, you know, I don't think it's sustainable for Luka to play good defense for 48 minutes because he is so much of a threat offensively that he needs to be on the court. And I know LeBron's great, but the reality of it is LeBron's 40. It's not sure it's LeBron's team, but Luka's the best player and you need Luka to play offense. So I think, yeah, it's clear as day. You attack Luka Doncic, you attack Austin Reeves, you win the series.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. They got to go to tape. They have to talk about that in the locker room tonight. That's something you can press. You can, when a person's down, you can put your that was last year's team, right? Like last year's team was consistent. Every night they showed out. They didn't care if it was a bad team or a good team. They came out and they did that. They would win by 20. They didn't go down to the clutch. That's what I'm waiting for this team to have. And if you can attack them, go up by this many points over and over, like they did again in the Phoenix series last year, you can really do something. We had a fan ask a question of, what do we think of Rudy Gobert going forward? Well, we'll tell you right after this quick ad break, because I don't know about you guys, but the playoffs, they're coming to Minnesota next week. That's right, Minnesota. You can go out, and we're partnered with SeatGeek, and you can use promo code The Daily Wolves for $20 off your next order. Promo code The Daily Wolves, and go get your tickets on SeatGeek today. You can also get concert tickets or anything that's around town. We got the Twins season here. I know the MLS team, the Loons, they're playing. So anything you want coming up, SeatGeek is your number one ticket spot to go. But yeah, Andrew, what do you think of Gobert going forward, my man? Because we've covered Gobert all season. What do you think about him?
I think so. This game, he only played like 24 minutes. And I think game one, that was a very large part of it. Game one, a large part of it was just Reid was awesome. And Julius was fine. And Jaden was awesome. So there's no room for Rudy Gobert when those three are clicking. Now, like objectively speaking, Rudy Gobert had 100 defensive rating. That's the best defensive rating outside of Jaden McDaniels on the team. His rebound rate was fine. He was playing fine defense. Luka was getting him in switches and he was making it difficult on him. I think this is going to be a series where either Rudy Gobert is going to be playing 18 to 20 minutes a game and kind of matching with Jackson Hayes, or Rudy is going to be playing like 40 minutes a game, because there is a world where Rudy is just dominating on offensive rebounds and scores 14 points in the first half. And it's just kind of like if Jaden hits 3 of 3 threes like he did tonight. If Jaden's outside shots falling, what do you do? If Rudy's getting offensive rebounds and dunks, what do you do? And I think that's going to be kind of the story of this Lakers series, is just what can they do if these things are happening? If Luka's gets 40 and LeBron and Reeves can't add 50 to his 40, what can they do to slow down these different things? And I'll be honest, Rudy's playing with like all-time confidence right now. He's having the best defensive stretch since last season when he won DPOY. He had a career high 35 points with the second game remaining in the regular season. I mean, he's playing really well. I'll just say Finch talked about it last practice before they flew out, where we just kind of asked him about the like narrative of Rudy Gobert is going to get played off the floor. And he just kind of said, that's a lazy narrative. That may have been what happened in the past. Sometimes it doesn't look good with Rudy, but if Rudy's clicking, we're going to enforce Rudy. And that seems realistic after watching game one, because Rudy wasn't very effective. Randall was fine. Nikhil wasn't particularly great in this game. I mean, they had 3 guys have like average to below average games, and they still won by 20.
No, I think going forward too, Nikhil's going to affect the series. Like you said, he struggled tonight, but he's going to be just a big player. There's just these guys that the Timberwolves have where I say it and I'll keep saying it again, where you're watching, and normally I was that person. You're like, who are these guys? And I wish I had them on my team. They got those guys. They got the dogs. But the next game comes up Tuesday. It's a 9 p.m. It's a late one for everybody, a 9 p.m. Central Time. So unfortunately, you're going to be going into work a little bit tired on Wednesday. And we also got the Minnesota Wild playing, I think, late as well on Tuesday. So if you're a Minnesota sports fan, it's a good time to tune in and grab a couple beers and have a poor performance at work, I guess, the next day. I mean, it'll be worth it.
Bad work performances. That's what we like at 40 minutes in a podcast.
That's what sports are for, guys. That's what sports are for. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here. We appreciate everyone for supporting us all season during the regular season at the Daily Wolves. And we're excited to bring you guys to playoff basketball.
Evan, hold on. I got to ask you, So game 1's down, right?
Okay.
What do you have the series? With one game now, Wolves up 1.
Yeah.
Where do you? How many games who wins?
He's gonna throw
Just
it
quick,
like
rapid fire. Evan's panicking.
I
Matt,
still,
go.
I still think
Wolves in
Minnesota.
6.
Wolves
I
in
still
6
think-
for Matt.
Okay, Wolves in 6. I still have Minnesota probably losing in 7. I'm with. I've been, and people are gonna hate on that. You know what I mean? But like, I'm trying to be realistic about it. I don't know. I think this series goes long. I'm worried about them in the clutch. I'm really worried about these games. Like tonight, it didn't go down to the clutch, but they had an unreal shooting performance from 3. What happens when things aren't falling? I don't know. When they go down to the clutch, I'm worried. I'm a little bit worried in that aspect. We'll see. We'll see.
I made my prediction Wolves in 7. I am sticking by that. I think it's going to be Wolves in 7. Game 7 in LA. Somehow they steal it.
There we go. We got a guy who says it's fair. I usually get trashed for being realistic. I've been hurt too much as a Timberwolves fan and a Minnesota fan here. But yeah, appreciate everybody for joining in. You can find this episode on Spotify and Apple by searching The Daily Wolves. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You can see some of our socials on the screen there. As always, guys, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to The Daily Wolves Courtside. And until next time, go Wolves.
Go Wolves.